Shmai a blwyddyn newydd dda. Welcome to the first FC Cymru of 2022. And what a year we could potentially have in store. The men's and the women's international teams are doing incredible in the World Cup qualifiers, and there are some great plans for domestic football here in Wales as well. But first, we'll be kicking off the year here in Port Talbot in Margam, find out about the great work being done here, and we'll be finding out about how a Welsh club is linking up with a team in Uganda, and we'll be finding out a bit more about the unsung hero of Euros 2016. But first, let's go and meet John Haycock from Margam.
It started because we made friends with the football club up in Liverpool, and they had started an inclusion up there. And they encouraged me to do an inclusion down here. So I had a look around, and there was a couple of inclusion teams, but it seemed to be more competitive, and they were looking at picking teams and people were getting picked and things. So I put word round in 2019 to say we were starting inclusion of Margam, and we started off with about 10 or 12 players.
And since that time, we just had an influx of people saying, we'd really love to do this because we haven't got nothing out there in the area that we can go to. So we've now grown to around 60 registered players, and like today we had about 3 more players turn up, so we're getting building all the time. Well, we've got an indoor venue, as you've seen this morning, but it's very small, and when we had 10, it was fine. But now we're having sessions with 20, 30 players in each of the 2 sessions. It's not big enough, and it's noisy for the children. So now, because of our own success, I suppose, as it were, we need a bigger indoor area for these children. So now this tennis court area, our plan is to build this into an area where there's soft flooring, it's covered, so we can have 40, 50 children at a time playing in here. The other thing as well is with the parents, they like to support each other. So we're also extended in phase 1 now the social area, so they can all sit together, they can have a chat, have a coffee, and also if we are a bigger venue, it's going to support all the other activities in the area. But more on my side of things is that we grow this inclusion football, because there's so many children that can't play football because there is no facilities for them or anyone doing that for children with disabilities.
What we wanted to do was sort of create a community hub where Margam could use it. I think we've lost a lot of facilities over the last sort of 5 years in Margam. So at the end of 2020 we started sitting down. It was a lot of work, if I'm honest with you. Every week we were having meetings, and it just sort of snowballed, if I'm honest with you. And then throughout 2021 then, we were just going through the planning process. And then just in the middle of December then we had full planning and building consent. But yeah, we're in a position now as a club where we're actually going out for tender now. We've actually fundraised all the planning and designs ourselves, so it's been a total cost of about 14,000 to this point, which we funded ourselves. So yeah, still waiting for the tender approach to come in and understand totally how much the projects cost. And then we'll be going to the National Lottery and with the self-help as well to fund it. So yeah, exciting times.
Well, there's plenty more to come here in Margam, but whilst I go and meet some of the parents and the children, you're going to find out how Cymru South team Undy's kit is being proudly worn by a team in Uganda.
I'm Carl Luton, head of the junior section at Undy AFC, and we've built up over the last few years a relationship with the Kufunjo Community Project in Uganda. They needed help with funding, with kits for their football team. We decided to jump in, and we did our little bit. We sent them some kits, and I guess this is our story. I'm Carl from Undy.
My name is Kufunjo Bruno. I might say Bruno because my African name might be very complicated.
Tell me a little bit more about the Kufunjo project itself.
Kufunjo Community Project is a project that we started here to basically to bring up the children that have been behind or neglected. We are living in a remote area whereby there was no chances of education, medical care, food and shelter. So our project is all about bringing people together so that the little children that have been neglected, they can come up so that they can have better future in their lives.
Tell me a bit more about the football team.
So I don't know how to play football but I know how to clap hands and smile and jump. I love football so much, and because of having many dreams and focusing and seeing what's happening in the world, I said, let us start a football team to bring the young boys, the young girls together so that they love each other.
Have you heard of Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager?
You know him? Yes. Okay.
He's here now.
Hi guys. We're now in the Causeway Bar. A little bit of a guided tour coming up your way. Photos on here, Undy through the decades, mainly from the age 1980 plus. So these are the trophies that we've been allowed to keep. We have live sport. We've got 3 TVs here, so obviously it's members of the public who we've got in tonight. They come in, they watch their sport, they drink their beer, they have a good laugh.
Whenever they hear that there is a match going on TV, they have to walk like 3 miles somehow to go and watch the football.
Now we're coming to the business end. This is the changing room. We've got 4 changing rooms. So as you come in, this is a setup for a typical match day.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully one day, guys, you'll be having these kits coming your way. This is our current away shirt. They're black and amber. This is Undy. This is my church.
We're starting off with just doing a passing drill. So all the balls are chasing a pass. The idea is to get a combination of different styles of passing. So as you can see coming up now, we have the driven 30-yard pass, then a short pass.
Alex Jarman, right attacking midfielder, playing for Undy Athletic, favourite player in the world, and the best player in the world, Lionel Messi.
I'm a cheeser, my role model is Sadio Mane.
Dan Jarman, winging for Undy Athletic, Liverpool supporter, best player in the world, Mo Salah.
I'm Omega, my role model is Grealish.
Brilliant stuff, great stuff. Glad you enjoyed it. Let's catch up again soon. Cheers, Bruno. See you guys. Bye.
This club's absolutely awesome. Eli has Down syndrome and he's 9, but finding a team that solely caters for children with Down syndrome is really difficult because obviously there's not a huge number of children of a similar age. So coming to a team that caters for all disabilities and also allows siblings to attend is absolutely awesome and amazing for our community. The coaches just show so much dedication. So it's a real asset to our community. Sport is really important in many ways. It allows children to form friendships. It enables children with disabilities to meet children with very different disabilities, and I think it just improves tolerance of society more generally. So yeah, important in so many ways.
It means a lot because I can make more friends because I have conditions and so do other people here, and I can understand them and they can understand me, and I've made more friends in school here than in school, and it just means a lot because I get to learn how to play football as well.
The thing I love most about coming to Margam is that I get to meet new friends with disabilities, because in my school there's no one else like that, so it's nice to meet people who like football with disabilities.
It's helped me a lot because it's something I can do to keep me happy, and it's taught me a lot of things.
My opportunity to clothes, my new friends, It's brilliant because some other kids teach me new skills I don't know, so it's nice learning from other children.
What is it about coming to this football club that
Oh
you
yeah,
love?
it's very fun.
Have you made lots of friends coming here?
Yeah. My favourite part is loads of passes in, shooting, passing, like that.
We're part of a charity for children with Down syndrome called Hands Up for Downs, and that provides a peer support network. But what this does is widen that network even further, and parents have lots of common challenges, whether it be around healthcare, whether it be around education, and it also gives parents an opportunity to chat and talk through some of those issues. So yeah, absolutely invaluable. Some of the children within the club have got varying levels of disability, and it's not always appropriate to play outside if the weather's particularly cold. So having particularly better indoor facilities would make a huge difference to a number of children. And of course they've got a large number of children that now attend because siblings can join in too. So having more space and better facilities would be amazing.
As you know, here at FC Cymru, we're all about the unsung heroes. So before we meet the volunteer coaches here, let's introduce you to one of Euro 2016's unsung heroes, a man who was instrumental in getting our boys to the semi-finals.
It's almost 20 years now, and I quite often say that I did have a real job once. I've loved football all my life, like everybody else. Loved everything about the game. But my background, my working background, I was a project manager, construction project manager. So that led me more naturally into sort of facility development. The first training session was on June the 6th, and that was going to happen whatever. So sort of 6 months, 4 months of planning and probably 2 months of actually then developing the facility. It was a very intense time, but a really, really enjoyable time. Personally, you know, you couldn't dream of having, you know, a better combination of facility, construction work and football. We needed to renovate the grass pitches. We needed to build a gym, refurbish the changing rooms, and there was, for want of a better word, a sports centre on site which we needed to convert into the media centre. And 6 months sounds like a long time, but believe me, it goes pretty quickly. My O-level French teacher would have been absolutely mortified to think that I was, you know, speaking in French and ordering people around in French and getting things organised in French. But we had a great relationship with partners and suppliers in Dinar. And the town took to Pays de Galles. Everywhere they supported us. That last week where all the equipment arrived for transforming the media centre from the sports hall into a working arena for, you know, Sky, Telly, BBC. Cabling was coming in, cameras were arriving, the stage was being set up. And then the team arrived on the Sunday after we played Sweden on the Sunday. The first training session was on the Monday, and the team trained and everybody walked off and went back to the hotel, and nobody said a word, which was great news because that meant everything was okay. That no news is good news was a tremendous relief. For all of us in Wales and people who travelled out there and just staying out there for 8 weeks, you'll never forget that. Whatever we do in the future, hopefully we'll qualify now for the World Cup, but I don't think you'll be able to actually recreate that 6 weeks of success, but enjoyment for everyone.
Well, I started by bringing my son to inclusion football, and John, the head coach, was very persuasive and managed to persuade me to become a coach here, and it's been fantastic. So I can see the joy that my son gets from all the other children, and it's just a real privilege to be here, really. You know, we've done our FA coaching certificates, but kind of when we're dealing with students and young people with this challenge, it's we kind of try and adapt and make it bespoke to their needs. So that's been the biggest challenge, but also the biggest joy as well, because everyone's an individual. And we make the best, I think, of the limited facilities that we have. Oh, I thoroughly recommend somebody becoming a volunteer. I honestly think I get more out of it than the children do. It's just an absolute joy to be part of it, to see their skills developing, but more importantly than that, their confidence, and they feel like they're part of the community. And it's great for the parents as well, because there's a wonderful camaraderie, I think, amongst the parents as well, because we all face similar challenges. And it's great to be part of a group where we all recognise that. So it's, there's no pressure. If a child wants to just take a little bit of time out, it's fine. It's not a problem at all. So everyone feels quite relaxed, I think. I think because the numbers are growing now, which is fantastic, and the word is spreading, John, our head coach, has had a fantastic vision for what's happening here. So people are coming here from wide geographical distances, but we need better facilities, really. We need larger facilities. You can see it's a little bit cramped when we're indoors here when the weather's not so good. So that would be fantastic and enable more children to access this wonderful experience. Football is the beautiful game, and it's great to watch the heroes on a Saturday like afternoon. But grassroots is where it's at, and these children have a lot going on in their lives. And they deserve the very best, really. They deserve to have access to the same sorts of facilities and opportunities that other children and our big sports stars have as well.
Well, that's a wrap here in Margam. We hope you've enjoyed the first FC Cymru of 2022. If you want to get in touch with anything you've heard on today's show, our social media details will be at the bottom of your screens. We'll be back in February as the first piece of silverware of the year is decided. We look forward to seeing you then. Hwyl am y tro.